I feel like self respect is one of the highest forms of self love. It is something that I've been on a long journey of trying to fully understand, to really implement, and to get good at. When it comes to respecting yourself, there are truly so many aspects and so many avenues and so many things to think of and set boundaries on and get clear on. And if it's not something that you're raised around, or it's just not something that is very present in your life growing up or where you're at now, it can be kind of hard to feel okay setting those boundaries and having such high respect for yourself and everything that you're doing, because many of us are people pleasers, and self-respect and people pleasing do not go together. You're usually one or the other, or you have a little bit of both. And I've been on a little bit of both side. I think growing up, I was definitely more people pleaser. I just wanted to satisfy. I just wanted to keep the peace. I wanted to make sure others were comfortable and that I wasn't a problem, But as I've grown up, it's like, okay, I'm okay to be a problem because others' perceptions of me may think that I'm a problem when in reality, I'm just being me. And sometimes I might actually be the problem, and that's okay because I'm human. I'm allowed to have those experiences. But over just the last couple years, and really since coming to LA, self-respect has been showing up so much, and it has been showing me how much lack of self-respect that I've had, and I have been working on that a lot. The beginning of this month, I sat in my journal and wrote about self-respect and just all of the ways, all of the aspects in your life and how to respect yourself and what it really shows up as. And, as I had mentioned a little over a month ago, I had to let some people go in my life. And over the last month, I've had a lot of time to reflect on, what went wrong in those relationships and why did they have to end, and how was I showing up? What was I not doing for myself? How was I showing up for myself? And I think the biggest thing was self-respect and the lack of it. And, like I said, I have a lot of self-respect for myself, because if I didn't, then I wouldn't be doing a lot of the things that I do, because it takes a lot of respect for yourself to pursue dreams and to pursue passions and to, move away from your hometown and go across the country and live by yourself. Like, that takes a lot of self-respect. I gotta have some respect for myself, and, I gotta have some vision for myself to be able to do that, because otherwise I don't know what I'd be doing. So I definitely have a lot of self-respect, but I've been working, because I'm not using the word trying anymore, I've been working towards making it even more. How can I respect myself even more? And so that's what I want to dive into today. The first focus for self-respect is physical. Respecting your physical body. This is a temple. You only get it once. You get this specific form one time out of all your lives. I believe in past lives. But you get this specific form, and you got this form for a reason. There's a saying that I really like, and it's that in a past life, the one right before the one that you're living, you chose exactly how you wanted to look in this life, because you thought it would be so beautiful. And in this lifetime, you're going to choose how you want to look for the next life, or whatever form, whether it's human or not. But we chose in a past life to look exactly as we do now. And I want to thank my past self because I genuinely love being a redhead. It's so fun. But you have to honor that. You have to honor this form and this temple and this body that you're in because it's all you got. It is all you got. And so respecting yourself and what that looks like. One, what are you consuming? What do you eat every day? What are you putting in your body? Are you doing drugs? Are you drinking heavily? Are you vaping? Are you eating a bunch of junk food? Are you eating at all? Because that has a lot of effects on us as well. Are you overeating? Ask yourself these questions and really start to examine, are the things that I'm ingesting actually good for me? Are they beneficial for my life? Are they getting me closer to where I want to be and what I want to look like when I'm 50 years old? Because you are currently determining what you're going to look like 20 years from now. No matter how old you are, whether you're already in your 50s or not, you can make the choices now to improve and to feel better and look better. Because that's where vitality and longevity comes from. I don't know about y'all, but I want to live past 100. Just to say that I did, And the way that I'm going to be able to do that is by taking the necessary steps now when I'm 23. That's a long time away from 100. I'm taking the steps now to make sure that I'm full of life and vitality by the time that I'm 100, by consuming good things. I was at my workout this morning, y'all. I go to Win It Wednesday, and somebody was celebrating a birthday, and they had cupcakes out. And I love cupcakes so much. They had chocolate ones, too. That's my favorite. I love chocolate everything. And I didn't eat one because I hadn't had breakfast yet. I hadn't had breakfast. I had a snack. I had like a banana and some dates before my workout just to have some fuel. But I hadn't had like a full meal. And before, this isn't the first time they brought cupcakes. I really don't know why they'd be bringing cupcakes to this workout. But I understand, it's your choice if you want to eat it or not. And today I chose not to eat it. And I felt really proud of myself. Like there were so many cupcakes. There was a whole cake and then 2 cases of cupcakes. They were like mini ones. But I've always taken the cupcake. But today I was like, you know what? I don't need it. I don't need that sugar. I don't need the glucose spike. I have a whole episode on glucose and how it affects your body. So go listen to that. I did a lot of research for it and it was great. Really learned a lot. But I didn't want to do that because I'm like, it's not going to make me feel good. Yes, it's going to satisfy my mental right now because I'm like, I'm eating this delicious cupcake. But then it's like, how do I feel afterwards? It's those choices. It's those choices. And another thing with your physical is movement. Speaking of my Wednesday workout, do you work out? Do you move your body? Are you mentally connected to your physical? Are you pushing yourself? Are you stretching? Are you increasing your mobility? Are you flexible? Can you lift weights? Do you go on runs? Do you walk? Do you ground? There's so many things that you can do for yourself to respect yourself, respecting your own body. It feels so good to push yourself physically. It feels so good to love yourself physically. It feels so good to build and craft your dream body. It feels so good knowing that I'm going to have a 6-pack so soon. It feels so good seeing my quad muscles getting so strong. And when I flex, I can actually see the muscle. I know there's muscle in there, but I want to see it. And we all have different goals here. That's just one of my goals. A 6-pack and some fucking thighs, man. But I'm choosing to do that because I'm choosing to love myself and I'm choosing to respect myself. And I got a job at a gym so I could get back into a gym routine. Because the gym I'm at, definitely not in my budget right now, but I'm working there so I get a free membership. And that's just a little life hack. I'm enjoying it, and I've been working out 5 or 6 days out of the week. And it's been really good. And another thing with your physical, if you're a woman, is respecting your cycle. Like this week, I feel lit. I feel so lit. Tomorrow, our Win It Wednesday group, they host a Thursday workout as well. That's like apparently super hard, and at least one person throws up every single Thursday. And tomorrow's my first time going. And I'm excited. I'm excited to push myself and to see what I'm capable of because that's just the energy I'm in right now. But like last week, I barely wanted to do anything because of my cycle. And so I respected that, It was like, I want to work out. I did work out. But it's like, I don't have as much energy and I'm tired and my body wants to rest. So I'm going to respect that and I'm going to rest some more. But this week, nah, we going for it. We are going crazy. Like that'll be like my 4th hard workout this week. And I'm so excited. Today was good. We did some hill work, lots of core. My core is destroyed right now. And I love it so much. Because when I'm getting these 6-packs. I'm getting a 6-pack. But another thing you can do to respect your physical body is sleeping. Do you get enough sleep? Do you get enough sleep for yourself? And it's when I say these things, it's like I know I'm not doing things perfectly. Clearly, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect, and we all have our own routines and we all have our own schedules and choices and desires. Whenever I'm speaking on all of this, it's simply just for some motivation and some inspiration because let me be honest with you. I've been watching TV every night before bed. And I've been watching You specifically because I've been slightly obsessed with bikers lately and I don't know, it just kind of goes together. If you're on Bike Talk. I've also been on TikTok a lot more. But I've also been noticing how it's affecting my sleep. Because then I'd go to sleep thinking about the show You. And if you ever watched that show, it's not the best show to dream about. Because he's a psycho serial killer. But it's a great show, and I'm almost finished with it. But prioritizing sleep. Prioritizing your sleep. And, after I finish watching the show, y'all know I'm doing the 40-day prosperity plan. So I'm still getting that in right before I go to sleep. And I make sure to meditate and with the prosperity plan, I have to read my statement of the day, meditate for 15 minutes, and then journal about it afterwards. So that's like the right before I'm going to bed. And that has definitely been helpful. I've been enjoying that so much. Today is day 10. So I'm a quarter way through, and I highly recommend it. You can literally just Google it. It's free. I found it in the book that I'm reading, but you can just Google the 40-day prosperity plan, and it's right there. It's free. I recommend highly because it's definitely making a big shift already, and I'm only 10 days in. So that means I have 30 days left, and 30 days creates a habit. So we're creating abundant as fuck habits, and I'm really grateful for that. And also another thing is sexually respecting yourself, because that's the physical. And I feel like a lot of disrespect and boundary crossing happens whenever we don't have clear boundaries or clear respect for ourselves. That's something that I've experienced a lot, more of feeling disrespected because I wasn't respecting myself. So others are going to respect you as much as you respect yourself. Not counting just the straight up assholes of the world who don't respect anybody or themselves. We have those. Unfortunately, we can't get rid of them. But in general, people are going to respect you as much as you respect yourself. Because if they say something to you or do something to you and you have clear, set boundaries of don't fucking do that or don't fucking speak to me like that, they're going to be like, oh, okay. And then they're either going to, it's your choice whether you want them in your life, but they're either going to check themselves and be like, okay, let me show up this way, or, they could just keep it pushing. But having clear boundaries with yourself is so important. Respecting your body, respecting yourself sexually, especially as a woman, because we take in so much. We take in so much energy. I mean, males do as well, but, we're literally taking. And so have clear respect for yourself. Respect your body, respect that energy exchange, and really ask yourself, do you want to exchange energies with that person? Because, when you have sex, that's, it takes a while to clear that energy, and it takes intentional time to clear that energy. And you don't need everyone's energy. Some people's energy just needs to stay with themselves. You don't need it, so don't take it in. And moving on. The next way to show some more self-respect towards yourself is respecting your mind. This is one that I've really, really been working on. And how it shows up is the way you speak. The way you speak about yourself. The way you speak about others. Do it respectfully. Do it with kind, genuine words. Even if somebody is pissing you off that day, control your own emotions. Respecting yourself is having control. Respecting yourself enough to not lash out. Because truly, it doesn't affect the other person. It might make them be like, whoa. It might hurt their feelings in the moment, but it's really just hurting you because you gave your power away. Every time you lash out, every time you get angry, every time you choose to hurt somebody else's feelings, you're just giving your own power away. And so you have to respect your mind. Respect the words that are coming out of your mouth about yourself and about others. Speak so kindly about yourself. Have compassion. Have forgiveness. We talk about this a lot on here because it's so important. These words, this language that we're speaking, whether it's English or another language, whatever you are speaking has so much power. And that's truly something that you have to understand. The words, every single word that comes out of your mouth is powerful. What type of power do you want to give it? Do you want to give it negative power or positive? Do you want to use your words to create a beautiful life? Or do you want to use your words to create a miserable one? That is your choice. And so, respecting your mind is speaking kindly of yourself, using your power to become and live the life that you deserve, which is abundance and divinity and love and power. That's the life we all deserve to live. Just pure peace. We all are abundant. We are all beings of divine consciousness. And we all have access to that because it's within us. And so whenever you choose to use your words for good, for your own life, it makes a difference. And that's a big form of self-respect, is simply respecting the way you're talking about yourself. Because you don't want other people to disrespect you. You don't want other people talking disrespectfully to you or about you, so don't do it about yourself. Don't do it to yourself. Speak so highly of yourself. That's something I've really been training my mind on lately, is how I word things, how I share about my story, how I share about my past, how I share about my goals, how I'm living my current situation. The way I speak about it all has an impact. And so I've been really trying to speak on it in a very high and elegant way, because that's how I want to show up. And so regardless of if my life currently reflects high elegance, it doesn't matter, because what I'm doing now is creating what I'm going to be living in. And I choose high elegance and class and peace and love. And that's how I'm speaking about myself now. And that's also how I'm speaking about my past. Like, regardless of what your past is, whether it was beautiful or whether it was highly traumatic, you have the choice of how you tell that story. You have the choice of how it makes you sound. You have the choice of how you show up in it, how it affects you. You have that choice. And so, things may have been really crazy, but how you choose to speak on it is up to you. So do you want to talk about how awful it was, or speak on the growth and who you became out of it? It's a choice. It's a choice. Another way to respect your mind, and this is a big one for me right now, is respecting your fucking dreams and your ideas and your opinions. Respecting it all. And what that really means, like, what does it mean to respect your dreams? It means if somebody comes into your life and they don't get it, they don't understand it, or they don't support it, fuck them. Fuck them. Don't let anybody gear you away from your dreams. And this specific topic is a big reason why I did the episode on choosing your influence and how people are influencing you. Because everybody's going to have an opinion on what you're trying to do. But your dreams are yours for a reason. And so you have to respect them. And by respecting them, you're not letting anybody gear you off the track. You're not letting anybody get in your way. You're not letting anybody tell you that it's not possible. You're not letting anybody tell you that it can't be done, or that it's not right, or you should do something else. Because if you give into that, and if you believe that, you are disrespecting the fuck out of yourself. Because how are you going to choose to ignore the dreams that you were given based on somebody else's opinion? They have their own dreams. And whether they're fulfilling them or not is not your problem. What is your problem is whether you are fulfilling your own dreams. Are you fulfilling your own dreams? And that's something I had to check myself on recently. It was like, a lot of people have a lot of ideas and a lot of opinions, especially on the entertainment industry. There's so many opinions out there. But it's like, I don't care what other people have to say. This is what I want. It's my life. It is my life. I can do whatever I want with it. I can do whatever I want. And so I've been actively choosing to respect that. Some people tell me like, oh, I don't know if that's such a good path. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty toxic. I don't care. Life itself is toxic and crazy. This is what I want to do. And I'm going to respect that. And in 5 years, if I choose to do something different, amazing. I have that right. I have that choice. I can do literally whatever I want. And I've been heavily respecting my dreams and my desires and my opinions. Because your opinions matter. Your opinions matter. Your voice matters. Your ideas matter. They're so powerful. Your ideas, your opinions, those are your words. Those are your power. They matter. They matter so much. And fuck anyone who says otherwise. Like, literally just fuck them. Fuck them. Gosh. But you have to respect that. You have to respect the dreams and the desires that were given to you. That's what you're meant to do in this lifetime. And if you're still figuring it out, that's okay. But if you're thinking that you're still figuring it out, something I want to ask you. Whenever you're alone, you're not surrounded by anyone else. It's just you and your thoughts. What do you truly want? Because I feel like we all know it deep down. But if you take off society, you take off your family, you take off your friends, you take off the random people, you take off social media, all of their thoughts and opinions and ideas of what your life should look like. If you just take all of that off for a moment and you ask and you sit with yourself, what is your heart's desire? We all know it. We all know it. And a lot of us are just disrespecting that desire for the satisfaction of others or the comfortability of others or just the fear of setting your own boundaries and having such high respect for yourself because we have been taught to believe that that is bad. But it's not. You have to have strong boundaries. You have to have strong respect because that is what makes you the divine being that you are. Makes her or him so powerful. That's how you get the life that you want, by respecting yourself. And the third thing is respecting your environment. Respecting your home, your car, the things that you own. Keeping them clean, keeping them nice, don't treat them like shit. Like whenever you go to somebody else's house or you use somebody else's car or you borrow somebody's clothes, you usually tend to treat them nicely. It's like, oh, I don't want to damage these because then I don't want them to be mad at me. Treat your own stuff with that same respect, with that same energy. Keep it clean, keep it nice. Take care of it. When was the last time you cleaned up your shoes? It's super easy. You can just Google it. I think it takes like some baking soda cleans everything. But I don't know specifically, but just like go clean your shoes. Do your laundry, fold your clothes, put them away. Wash your bed sheets. Wash your hair. Do a hair mask, do a face mask. It's all a part of your environment. Keeping it all clean. Sweep your floors, mop your floors. Put some air fresheners around. Put some candles out. Romanticize your life. Treat yourself like a beauty queen because you are. You are. Whether you're a man or not, you're a beauty queen. But just romanticize yourself. If you look at every rich person ever, they are so well put together. They are so clean. And no matter the style of how they dress, you don't have to be like the most stylish person. Like one great representation of this is Adam Sandler. That's his own style, but he's always dressed down. But he's clean and he's put together and he's organized. And so if you have a desire to be rich, that is a first step that you could take. Start to show up, putting yourself together nicely, taking care of your things. Because I can almost guarantee that if you had $1 million, the dream car you want, perfect house you want, it would be in pristine condition. Or you'd be paying somebody else to make sure that it's in pristine condition. So do that for what you have now. And I know, cleaning's not fun. It's not fun to keep everything clean because you're focused on getting the life that you want and you have so many dreams and you work all the time and it's exhausting and you're tired, but it's like, these are the little habits that are going to make the biggest impact and the biggest difference. You have to do it now. It makes life better. It makes life more enjoyable. Like, if you have such a long, hard day at work and then you come home and your house is dirty, how does that make you feel? It doesn't feel good. But if you pushed yourself just a little bit more, like, you know what? I'm going to clean up today. So when I come home tomorrow, it's all nice and I can just relax in that. Like, that is such a nice thing to do for yourself. It's so respectful. So kind. So kind of you to do that. To clean up and make your house all pretty or your car all pretty and make it smell good. It makes you feel good. Because when your outside is organized, your inside is organized as well. And vice versa. So that's another way. Just taking care. Another way to show some self-respect to yourself is respecting your time. You don't have to be everywhere for everyone or everything. Just do it whenever you have the time. Simply that. Something that I heard from my workout today is you don't want to give from your cup. You don't want to keep giving from your cup. You don't want to keep just showing up or saying yes and doing all these things for everyone else and just taking from your own cup. Because then that leaves nothing for yourself and you feel depleted and you're like, that's whenever we feel the most of, oh, I just need a vacation, or oh, I just need a massage, or oh, I just wish somebody would come help me. Stop giving from your cup then. Give from your overflow. Pour into yourself so much that you have an overflow to give from. Because a lot of us don't even have the overflow because we're not even giving to ourselves. And we're just spreading ourselves so thin and just giving so much to everyone else. And we're forgetting about ourselves. That's very disrespectful of you. To you. We got to change that. And I have to do that as well. I've been working on it a lot. And it feels really good, and I highly recommend it. Just working to pour from your overflow. Give from your overflow. And the ways that you fill your own cup are a lot of the things that I'm speaking on right now. Is simply just respecting yourself in all of these aspects. Your physical, your mental, your emotional, your environmental, your time. That's how you pour into you. Is respecting all of those things, setting boundaries, saying no when necessary. And show up for others, but don't overextend yourself, especially if it's not reciprocated. That's one thing. Like, if you have some solid people in your life that'll always go the extra mile for you, yes, of course, go the extra mile for them. Even if you're tired, that's just love. That's commitment right there. That's community. That's how we build deep connections. But if you're overextending yourself and going the extra mile for somebody who would never do the same for you, baby, stop. Give that time to yourself. Give that energy to yourself. You got to pour into your own cup so you have an overflow. A waterfall is so beautiful. Because it's just flowing. And it gives because it has so much. Because it gives to itself. I liked my silly analogy. But you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. And everything I'm speaking right now, choose to do it or not. There's so many ways to fill your own cup. These are just some very general and broad ideas and inspirations to expand yourself and to connect more with yourself and to respect yourself more. And so that's super important. And last but not least, the final way that I have for you to show some more self-respect to yourself is respecting your energy and being super intentional. And you know, everything that I spoke on before has a lot to do with energy as well. But you want to be super intentional with your energy, so you have energy to pour into your physical, so you pour into your mental, you pour into your time and your environment. You got to be intentional with your energy so you even have energy to do all of those things. So you have the energy to respect yourself, to take care of yourself. Being intentional with who you spend your time with. You know, we hear it all the time. You know. But it's so true. It's so true. It's so important. Who you surround yourself with has such a big impact on you, whether you want to believe it or not. You know, like, say your friends have some bad habits, and, you know, you may not have those habits right now, but if you keep hanging out with them, they're either gonna, you know, evolve and get on your level and let go of those bad habits, or you're gonna fall down to theirs and take on their habits, and that's just not good. We don't want to dim ourselves down for anybody, ever, at all. And so being super intentional with who you spend your time with, who you're sharing your energy with, who you're even sharing a conversation with. Like, that takes so much energy. And, you know, if you have some people in your life, or you're in some situations, or just even if you're at an event, like, if it's not benefiting you and if it's stealing your energy and it's not giving you any energy, leave. It's so easy. You can literally just be like, you know what? Bye. Walk out the door. Or you can pull an Irish goodbye and don't say goodbye and you just leave. And, you know, like, if it's a relationship, you know, maybe you want to say something just to be nice and respectful, because we respect others and we respect how we speak to others. We respect how we show up to ourselves. But you don't have to stay anywhere you don't want to be. You don't have to stay in any relationship, situation, place, environment, any of it, if it's not pouring into you or giving you more energy. Because, like, what are you doing? We have one life to live. One life in this form. So respect it. Leave. When it comes to jobs and opportunities, I feel like there's this energy of, oh, well, you don't want to give up, you don't want to be a quitter, you know, you got to commit. Like, if you're going to do something, you got to finish it out. But, like, what if it's awful? What if it's just draining your energy? Why would I finish that? Like, literally, fuck that. I will leave so fast because I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about that idea or that societal expectation. You know, I don't burn bridges, but I will respectfully be like, this is just not for me. Thank you for the opportunity. Goodbye. Because who do I look like staying in a place that isn't respecting me? It's not respecting my time. It's not pouring into me. It's not giving me anything. Why would I do that to myself? Why would you do that to yourself? That's so important. You literally have the right to leave. I think some people need to be reminded of that. You can say no. You can leave. Regardless of if you're like halfway through something, or you've been there for a couple months, or even if you've been there for a couple years, leave. If it's not benefiting you, leave. Make sure you're good, of course. Like, if it's a job, make sure you're good. But have the intention to find something better, to know that you deserve better, and to know that better is out there. You don't have to suffer. 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 Just leave. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys. That's my tips and tricks on respecting yourself and just how to show up for yourself and to live a beautiful and magical life, because you're listening to the Magical Lane with Magical Lane. You're listening to the Magical Lane with Maggie Jane, and we talk about living a magical life, and these are the ways to do it. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and truly I hope you take these things, those 5 ways or 5 key points of how to have more respect for yourself and implement them. Because, it's making such a difference. I feel so good lately. I was at my workout today, and I feel like I'm always there, and I'm kind of quiet, and it's I don't have, my head down, but I'm just, I keep to myself. But, today I just felt so lively. I felt so alive, and I was talking to more people, and I just felt so good, and I feel like I've been showing up that way with everything that I'm doing, and it just feels so good, because I've truly just been implementing all of this. I've been implementing more ways to respect myself, and it's making such a difference. I don't say this just to say this shit. Everything that I speak on, I'm currently actively doing, or I've been through, or I experienced. I'm just speaking from my heart, man. I'm speaking from my soul. And the reason I have this podcast is to inspire and to remind people how capable we are. I was not living like this. I'm creating everything that I have for myself by doing things like this, by listening to these things, by taking them in and being intentional and just choosing to create better and choosing to reprogram my mind so I can have a beautiful, magical fucking life. But truly, I'm just speaking from the heart and the soul. And so, take it if you want, but it's all love, and it's what's working for me. And so I just wanted to share it. I begin so aggressive sometimes. Passionate. I begin passionate. I'm not aggressive. Passion. This is passion, baby, because this is my passion project. And I love her. I love my podcast. My PPP. My passion project podcast. All right, I'm done. Goodbye.